ESPN analyst, former Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, Ryan Clark says that he is tired of Uber drivers profiling him musically. Maybe we are. Hi, my name is Levi Spires, and this is the Tip You in the App Daily Drive podcast. In this episode, I'll address me or other drivers potentially profiling our passengers and trying to put on, I guess Ryan was upset with rap music being the choice music that drivers were giving him. Definitely want to talk with you about this weekend, how I completed a challenge, 17 trips in like 2.5 hours. It was amazing. And then I'll answer your questions.
I'm tired of being musically profiled in Ubers. It's a Sunday, go to walk my son's dog, get in the Uber, just some regular, I think it was like pop or something was on. Man, says hello, doesn't even ask me, he just changes the radio. First song, All Eyes on Me by Tupac. That's not even one of the songs I listened to from that album. Then he plays Many Men, right? 50 Cent. Right now I'm starting to realize there's a theme. Then he hit me with the Stay Scheming. Bro, you got to go pull Stay Scheming way off the pack for Ross and Drake. And I had enough when it got to Not Like Us. Like you totally profiled me and said, this is the music this guy's like. And now I'm watching his lips as he lip sync because it's not even the edited version. And listen, bro, Continuum, all-time album. Why can't I listen to John Mayer? Songs About Jane, classic. Maroon 5. Hell, Between the Pines, Sam Hunt. I know a little, now there ain't enough smoke in my eyes to hide the kind of games you trying to play. Like, what about that? Chris Young, You. That's like one of my favorite songs. The bluest skies don't seem so blue. Like, that is a classic. Beautiful Crazy. I mean, a day starts with a coffee and ends with I know country. So you mean to tell me you could have went, what was that, Nora Jones, Come Away With Me, hell, the Hamilton soundtrack, Wicked, listen to all that. You go straight there, and it was a Sunday, bro, couldn't put no Kurt Franklin on. Like that. I don't like a Kurt Franklin guy, Yolanda Adams, John P. Like none of those people ring a bell to you, and maybe I want to listen to them. So yeah, so Uber drivers, just turn around. Hey man, do you like this music? What music would you want to listen to? But please, or if you're going to go Tupac, like give me Against the World for something subtle and sane and chill. Don't go All Eyes on Me. Or if you're going to do that, give me Ambitious as a Rider. Like let me really get hype on a Sunday. But that was ridiculous, Mr. Uber.
Okay. Was that musical profiling? Let me first say that I don't think that I would ever play rap music, especially vulgar rap music or hardcore rock or some sort of like intense music before a passenger gets into the vehicle. I would only play something like Tupac or Rage Against the Machine or some sort of whatever music you can imagine in that genre. And I know it's not a genre, but you get what I'm saying. That is, unless the passenger requests it. So for assuming that whatever Ryan is talking about actually happens, because I don't know if it actually happened, but I'm going to believe him in this case. And the reason why I believe him is because I think I do this as an Uber driver. See, to me, it's not about racial profiling. It's more about like a situational judgment. I am an Uber driver and I am trying to earn a tip. So when I see passengers walking up to my vehicle, I'm trying to make some assumptions about potentially what type of experience are they looking for. And it's not just the passenger, what they look like, but it's where am I picking them up? What time of day is it? Is it a Friday night or is it a Sunday morning? There's a lot of things happening. But ultimately, my job is not only to get you to and from a destination safely, as promptly as possible, in a clean car, but I want to provide an experience that matches your expectations or even exceeds your expectations as a passenger. And each passenger is unique. So I'm trying to earn a tip. So I don't know what you want as a passenger. I can only look around and see the things that are out there and go, okay, this is potentially what this passenger might want. Let me give you some examples. It's early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm taking somebody, I'm going to go pick up somebody at their house in the suburbs and take them to the airport. Um, let's say it's a Tuesday. And as they're coming out, it's obviously a person, male or female, doesn't really matter, on a business trip because they have just one small little carry on and they're dressed professionally and they've got maybe a backpack or a briefcase or something like that. And what do I want to do? Well, I probably will go to my staple of music because, again, music is a tool to provide that level of experience. And I'll probably put on some sort of jazz. I'm a big Miles Davis fan, so Kind of Blue, maybe Coltrane, something that is noticeable, maybe even like people might recognize it that it's playing, but so low of a volume, they have to lean in to really hear it. It's just background. And that's what music's really, really important. Think about all the places you go, Macy's to go shopping, or you go to Starbucks, or you go, people use music as a form of ambiance to enhance the experience. Same with us Uber drivers. So I know the music that I like, and I'm trying to hopefully play music that I like that enhances the experience of the passenger. And it's a big, big part of it. Because the other thing is this, and I've had a few passengers that don't want any music, but it's kind of awkward if you get into an Uber and the driver is playing nothing. It's really quiet. And then the two of you don't talk. It's almost like what I start thinking about is, can they hear me breathe? Because especially this time of year, I got sinus type of things. And so I don't want the passenger to hear me breathe. So having that music, it kind of like sets the tone. It also kind of alleviates road noise or maybe outside of the car noise. It just sets a nice mood. So again, that passenger comes out. Let's say she's dressed really professional. She's got her small little luggage. She's got a scarf, whatever. She's on a business trip, it looks like, or some sort of quick trip. And I just want some sort of soft, simple Miles Davis. And I do that a lot. I do play a lot of Miles Davis, a lot of Coltrane, a lot of jazz. If it's even sometimes I might play even some spa music. That it gets a little bit awkward, but that's not really the best one yet. Then let me give you another scenario. You pull up to a hotel and four girls come out. It's like 7 o'clock at night on a Friday. One of them has a tiara and a sash, you know, the bride to be. And the other three girls, they're clearly out to party. They want to go have fun. So the music might shift to some sort of pop music. And then I'm going to start to play pop music. I start off typically with like some sort of Taylor Swift, in that scenario. And then we'll see where it goes from there. Cause they might like country. They might like rock. They might like whatever, but the music's up just a little bit louder. And when they get it, they hear, you know, Style by Taylor Swift or whatever from the 1989 album. They go, oh my gosh, turn it up. And then they're in the mood. And then I'm like, hey, you guys play whatever you want. And then they lean into it because that's the experience I'm trying to provide as an Uber driver. Again, it's just a tool. And you can go through a litany of scenarios. And even if you're not an Uber driver, you can kind of start to see those situations. Again, I don't want to play music that I don't like. So the playlists, for the most part, are revolving on music that I like. I never listen to podcasts with passengers. I never listen to the news. I never listen to local radio. I just have like about 10 to 20 playlists that I can click on and they adjust. Sometimes I pick one for the day. I just say, I want to listen to this album today. A good example would be like Rumors from Fleetwood Mac. You can get away with playing that almost anywhere. But again, I start the volume low and I'm trying to read the room of the passenger. So Ryan Clark claims that his Uber driver, or maybe it's a series of Uber drivers, but he makes it, in this case, about this one driver. It's Sunday morning He's just going to get into an Uber, and the guy puts on Tupac, the explicit version of rap music. And and maybe Ryan does like music, but it's just not the appropriate time. And he feels like he's being profiled, racially, musically profiled. Like, why would a black man of his age like Tupac? Now, Ryan clearly does like Tupac. He's not saying he doesn't like Tupac. He's just saying, why did you do that? And I think it goes back to the idea that, again, Uber drivers are just trying to read the room and earn a tip. I wouldn't do it that way. But that's not even the bigger thing to me in this whole situation. There's two things that I want to express. Number one, Uber drivers can't truly understand what you want before you get into the car. We've never met you. We don't know who you are. And even when we're talking to you in the car, I can't see you. So there's nonverbal communication is just not there. So I can't see if you're upset or if you're happy or for whatever, unless you verbally express it. Now I can hear through tones. I've given thousands and thousands and thousands of rides, so I kind of understand what's going on. But ultimately, the second thing is this: you just got to tell me what you want. So I think to myself, like the situation Ryan Clark happened. He gets in the car, and this driver offended, Ryan by playing, hardcore rap music. And okay, that's a thing. Now, what Ryan can do is just tell the driver he doesn't want that. That's all he has to do. Hey, driver, I don't want that music being played. That's it. Can you put on some? He said, well, was it Kirk Franklin or whoever? Mile, Ryan has control of the situation. He's the passenger. He's the one being served. And me as the driver, I would love to do anything that you want as a passenger. You just got to tell me. Like, you can't assume that I know. I'm going to give 20, 30 rides that day. I'm going to do 100 plus that week. I've done thousands of rides. Every single passenger is unique and deserves a unique experience. They just got to tell us what they want. If you want to put your headphones on and say, I just want to take a couple of calls, just tell me. If you want the temperature changed, if you want me to take a different route, whatever you want, you have to express it. And it's so frustrating to see videos when the driver's driving and then the passenger goes, hey, why are you taking this route? As if the driver is trying to screw them over. Or why are you playing this music? You're just profiling me. Well, assuming the driver actually did this, the driver probably was just trying to make Ryan happy. That's it. That black guy? No, he probably likes Tupac. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I wouldn't play Tupac unless they asked me to put on Tupac. But you don't have to be so offended that you go on to Instagram and make a rant. Now, I've never actually seen Ryan's ESPN type of performances or what he does, so I don't know. But when I Googled his name, a lot more other controversies come up. So I think this is his gig. I think that's his gig. He wants to be offended and be offensive or whatever. So clickbait, whatever. He got it. He got his thing. He got his rant in. And so there's no video proof of it to the best I know. So maybe it didn't happen. I don't know. I'm going to assume it did. And Ryan or any other Uber passenger, I would just tell you that your driver, for the most part, wants you to be happy because we earn a tip. And music is just a tool. It's just a thing. And it's just one, little tool in our belt of toolkits that we use as drivers to hopefully make that Uber experience as amazing as possible to earn a tip, a $5 tip or $2 tip or whatever. Like, imagine how much thought you've heard me talk about putting into music playlists beyond everything else just to hopefully earn $2. So it's really intentional. There you go. Okay. So this weekend, let's get into, instead of I don't have a ride that I want to talk about. Instead, what I want to talk about is just this weekend. Now, Uber puts out these intense challenges for me. They're like, hey, if you complete 5 rides and then 3 rides and then 4 rides and then 3 rides, we're going to give you a series of escalating bonuses, but you have to get it all done within 3 hours or 4 hours or even 2 hours or whatever. And so it could be a lot of money. And on Saturday, I went out with my son and we decided that we were going to get some lunch, but to earn lunch, we had to do these 3 hours of Uber driving. And we had a lot of fun. We had so much fun. I think I've talked about this before and I want to restate it again. This is like the third or fourth time now I've done this. And these escalating challenges, what I've noticed is that they're getting more difficult. So when I first got them, it was like complete 4 rides in 4 hours and get $5 or some sort of small amount. But now I'm getting ones that are like super large. I think on the 27th of December, there's like a bonus something for me to get 60, $70. I haven't done the math yet, but it's a lot. It's like, but I got to do like 17 or 18 rides. And again, if you miss one ride, like if is the last three, it says if you complete 3 rides, you get $18. Great. But if I only do 2 rides, I get zero. Now, I can do Uber Eats and Uber to complete these. And so when my son's with me, it's obviously just Uber Eats. But the Uber, when you mix in with Uber X and or Uber Eats, you can get pretty creative. Basically, you're trying to complete a trip every 10 minutes. Now, here's what I've noticed about this. Yes, it's fun when I have my son with me, and that's kind of cool. But the way it operates from a professional standpoint is you really have to just decline so many rides. Uber gives me 10, 20, 30 Walmart orders in a row. Like, do these Walmart orders. And it's just intense. So I try to avoid all those. So just decline for 5 minutes, all these Walmart orders. They complete 3 trips and they're an hour away and you get $20. And so you don't want to do those. What I have noticed though is they start to stack the Uber Eats orders. The Uber Eats orders come in and it's like, I'll do one that says 10 minutes for Taco Bell, whatever. And then it'll say, well, +1 for 7 more minutes. So now that's 2 trips in 17 minutes. And then it'll say, do another one, pick up at McDonald's for an extra 5 minutes. And so you can see that's how I've been able to knock these out. I haven't not completed one yet. I've completed them all. But the other thing that's really interesting is I'll get a ride. Let's say the promo starts at 12 o'clock. I'll get a promo at 12:01. I'll get a ride and I'll start that ride. But the passenger or somebody ordered that before 12 o'clock and that doesn't count. So the order has to come in. The person has to do the order before the promo starts. But you can actually complete an order after the time period. So let's say the time period ends at 3 o'clock and you're doing a 3-stack Uber Eats order. Great. I'll do that 3-stack Uber Eats order. I'll accept it with 10 minutes to go. And those 3, as long as I do all 3 of those, that'll complete my final third leg of that quest thing. It's kind of fun. I haven't had bonuses and quests in a long time, and our EV bonuses now went away. So the gamification, as much as I dislike it from having to earn a living and a professional standpoint, I do enjoy the gamification because it just makes it kind of fun. So when I'm out there with my son trying to knock out a bunch of quick Uber Eats orders, that's kind of cool. That when I'm out on my own, I can turn on Uber X and I'm looking for like 7-minute rides, 2-minute rides, And when you work on college campuses like Syracuse University, it's really easy. There's a lot of 5 and 10-minute rides, especially in the middle of winter. Nobody wants to walk anywhere. So yeah, the rides are minimum fares. I did see some 75-cent Uber Eats orders, but because of the bonuses, it all stacks up. And over the weekend, we made $136, me and my son, in 3 hours, which is really good. Only drove 20 miles. And then, I've been able to do somewhere between $120 to $150 an hour, or not an hour, but per 3-hour stretch with these bonuses. And if Uber keeps doing this, I'm going to keep knocking them out. So kudos to Uber. It's a lot of fun. I like it. And we'll see what happens. I've got some big ones over the weekend. Let's see if I can do it. I'll make another video about it. Okay. So questions and comments here. I think it's God. He says, since you're the economist, can you calculate operational cost per mile for Waymo cars? And I think you meant Waymo cars. But I made a video and I'm going to make a lot more videos about autonomy and AI because I just think it's the biggest thing in humanity and it's affecting our industry. And so I want to stay ahead of this and just continue to talk about it and spark the conversation. Now, how much does a Waymo car cost to operate? Well, I think we have to break down cost in a couple of different ways. I'm going to go back to a cost analyst days of an U.S. Air Force military kind of guy. So that's what I did in the Air Force. I did accounting and economics and cost accounting. And so what happens is this: let's say you've got a jet. You've heard of $1 billion bomber, and that bomber costs $1 billion to make. But those $1 billion have already been spent, and the U.S. military doesn't have what the private side has, which is depreciation. So once you pay $1 billion for a bomber, that bomber has been purchased, and you don't have to depreciate it from an accounting perspective. At least not when I was in the military. But when you buy $100,000 car, and that's what those Waymos are costing. I think they're 100, 120, maybe more. Those Waymo cars are very expensive, and they have to count that depreciation cost back against the car. And most of the time, they're using a straight line depreciation, maybe some sort of accelerated depreciation when it comes to taxes. But that depreciation cost is probably by far the biggest operating cost of that vehicle. So a bomber, you might say, is $1 billion, and it cost us. We measured everything by the hour, and if you think about large trucks, ships, airplanes, the depreciation or the cost is cost per hour. And so I think it was like $20,000 an hour to operate a F-15 jet. But the really interesting thing about operating an F-15 jet and $20,000 an hour, and that was 20 years ago, so who knows what it is today. But that was fuel and maintenance and repairables. So fuel is obviously, for the most part, gas. There's some oils and stuff like that. Maintenance would be things that we knew we were going to have to spend on the, parts that we're going to replace, so like spark plugs, whatever, brake pads. But on an airplane, they're different. I don't know them all. But then you have the third one, which is like repairables. Like if your transmission breaks in your car, you weren't planning on that, but you have to fix it. But ultimately, you try to make everything analyzed by the hour. All this being said is the Waymo costs are very expensive to operate per mile because they have depreciation, electricity, and then they're having, basic maintenance on those vehicles. However, it's going to change. So right now it's pretty expensive. I think $150,000 car, I had no idea. I would probably say their operating cost, not including software, because I don't know if they're adding labor into this, but let's say they're not. They're saying that's just the car itself to operate the car. They're probably in that 70 cents to $1 per mile cost. Whereas me and my Tesla, or you and your car, you're in that 25 cents to 35 cents, depending upon maybe even 40 cents if you have like a gas guzzler vehicle. You are much cheaper to operate because there's mass production of those vehicles. Though your vehicle that you're driving is just cheaper to operate because you're driving it. Now, but your labor is not part of that cost. And that's the confusing thing about this. So what's going to happen, and this is all this being said, is that I believe that when Tesla starts building 1 million of these cars, the cost is going to drop significant. Their costs are going to go down to like 20 cents per mile. And then they don't have labor, you or me as drivers, they're going to become extremely affordable. So a robo-taxi, to include software costs and any other insurance costs or whatever else costs they might have that are fixed, but just their operating costs, their variable cost, it's probably going to be like $5 to order a robo-taxi to go anywhere in most cities, maybe $10 to go across a major city, like from, I don't know, Brooklyn to the Bronx. It's going to be extremely cheap to operate. So today they're expensive because they're just not making those mini Waymos. There's just not that many out there. But when they get into mass production, like you would do at a Ford or a Toyota or what robotaxi Tesla is doing, there's going to be so many of them out there. They're going to be very cheap to operate, and because there's no depreciation costs, because they're going to get their economies of scale to produce so many of them, the costs are going to go down. And just this one more nail in the coffin of human-driven cars, much less what we do as a profession as drivers. That was a long answer, but I really like accounting. So thank you for asking. Kathleen says, there will always be demand for human drivers, not just with excess demand from AVs. So there was like a debate in that thread. It was a different video about Uber versus Tesla, another artificial intelligence kind of thing. And I think Kathleen is right in the sense that there will always be demand for human drivers. That's like saying there's also demand for people to ride horses. It's just not a massive part of our transportation today. And so I understand where Kathleen's coming from. And I personally, as a driver, get very defensive about when people come after my profession as a driver. But the reality is that there are, say, I think there's like 250 million personal owned cars on the road in America or something like that. And most of them are sitting around parked. Most cars are not in use. But as soon as autonomous cars hit mass market, we'll only need 20 to 30 million cars to actually do all the transportation for passengers in America via cars. And it'll just become so cheap. And then this is the thing that I don't know if Kathleen's right or wrong. I don't know. I think there may be demand for it, but the truth is a lot of cities are going to force the only transportation by car to be autonomous because autonomous cars are safer. We can look at videos and go, oh, look how dangerous they are or whatever. But the reality is they're much safer because they don't get tired like Uber drivers. They don't make bad decisions like Uber drivers and us humans, I should say. And so I can see zones, like imagine all of Manhattan being all autonomous cars. And so there might be demand for people that people go to New York City, be like, I want to take a human driven car. But the laws of the city of Manhattan or New York, I should say, say that no, there will be no human driven vehicles in the city because we want to be safer for pedestrians and bicyclists. I can see that happening. So maybe Kathleen's right. Maybe humans will always drive cars, but it may be just limited to the way like horses are, to like a hobby, as opposed to day to day transportation. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's fun to think about it. And there's a part of me that hopes Kathleen's right in the sense that it's my job, but I need to be honest with myself and think that it's highly unlikely. I don't know. I don't know. And Lisa, again, thank you so much for Kathleen and Lisa for being members of the channels. But Lisa says, the best way to spend an afternoon. Looks like you guys had a great time and made a little bit of money in the meantime. She's responding to a video for members only where me and my son got out there and just kind of talked about the experience of doing Uber Eats together. We had a lot of fun. It's nice to see him hustle and work. I understand that. And we did it. And Lisa, yeah, you're right. It was so much fun to do that as a father-son thing. Yeah, it's wintertime, so we can't play a lot of golf. And we do watch movies. We do other things. I don't just have my son do work with me, but it's a healthy thing to have your children work. And he gets to see what his dad does for a living. And it's good. And I like that a lot. In fact, my son has his own YouTube channel. So I'll put a link in this description for you to go out there and meet my son and kind of cheer for him in his own journey in his life. Now, there's a lot of ways to engage with this content. I really want to thank our sponsors, Red Tiger and Lace Fit Mats. We're going to be landing a couple more sponsors in the future. I'm really excited about the growth of this channel. Thank you so much. So check out Red Tiger and Lace Fit. Now, for my fellow drivers, join the channel. It costs $3. Be a member, and that membership, you're gonna get some exclusive content like the one with me and my son, just kind of chatting. I'm gonna try to continue to make more exclusive content just for the members. It's really affordable. It's $3. But it means the world to me. It's a nominal cost to you, but it's like a tip, right? A $1 tip probably didn't cost that passenger anything, but it means the world to you. That's the same thing it means to me. And so I focus a lot of my content ideas based upon whatever the members want. So the members control a lot of the Q&A. I respond to their comments in the threads. I super appreciate every single member of the Thrive membership group. If you're not wanting to pay, but you want to connect with other drivers, join the Facebook group. We have a Facebook group, Tip You in the app. 800, 900 some odd people have joined it. It's drivers only. There's no warnings, except for right now. If you join the group, it has to be content that is driver oriented. It can be fun. If you want to talk about an upcoming protest, I don't care. It's like a water cooler, but you're not there to sell anything. If you're trying to sell something or you make it offensive in nature, you would get kicked out. There's no, there's no warnings. Drivers, hey, we're coming upon the end of 2025. We're entering 2026. I want you to drive your way. I want you to be safe. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be happy. I want you to make some money. But ultimately, I want you to know that I am cheering for you. My name is Levi Spires. Be well. Bye.